que haga esto. Buena representación de sus sueños. Sí.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. We have returned to open session at 6:01. All in attendance will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by Giano Intermediate School students Soraya Charez and Litzy Marin.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, where liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a closed session report. During closed session, the Board of Education took the following action. The Board of Education approved the appointment of Justin Lopez to the position of high school assistant principal effective February 15, 2019, on a motion by Angelina Pride and a second by Lynn Ebenkamp. The vote of the board was as follows. Carrie Chen, yes. Lynn Ebenkamp, yes. Donna Friedman, yes. David Malcolm, yes. Angelina Pride, yes. I would like to thank the Giano Intermediate School students, parents, staff, and community members for providing the refreshments for tonight's board meeting. Giano Intermediate School Principal Carlos Ochoa, along with students Zaraya Charez and Litzy Marin, will provide a brief report highlighting what is going on at their organization.
Good evening, Board President Friedman, Board, Dr. Mitchell, and guests. I have the distinct pleasure today of introducing to you two amazing young ladies from Giano who are here to share a brief spotlight regarding what's been taking place at Giano, as well as highlighting some of their own projects that started this school year.
Good evening, Board, President Friedman, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, the Board, and guests. My name is Soraya Charez, and this is Litzy Marin. We are both 8th grade Giano Gladiators, and we're here to spotlight the Gladiator Way. The Gladiator Way consists of doing the right thing, getting involved, and working hard. The Gladiator Way inspires us to be The Gladiator Way inspires us to be successful, independent, and thoughtful students from here and on with our lives.
As Soraya stated, I am Litzy Marin, and I am Giano's ASB president. In addition, I am part of Giano's broadcasting team. This year has been especially excited with the launch of GBN, Giano's broadcasting network. We hope you enjoy GBN's spotlight of all the great things going on at Giano this year. Hello, my name is Litzy Marin, and I am an 8th grader here at Giano, and I'm part of GBN. And I'm here with...
My name is Kimberly Ruiz. I'm an 8th grader here at Giano, and I'm also part of GBN. And this is...
I'm Zaraya Charez, and I'm an 8th grader at Giano, and I'm also part of GBN.
be a gladiator?
Being a gladiator means to work hard. Here at Giano, we work hard by doing something called tutorials.
Get involved.
And do the right thing.
Thank you for watching GBN.
Thank you.
But don't worry, you gotta take a selfie.
Before our young ladies go back, I just want to highlight the fact that this year, we started a broadcasting class with no equipment. It was just out of an idea that came out of yearbook last year. In a very short amount of time and with the very limited resources, I promise to do better next year. They've done an amazing job in not only creating a way to deliver news to students, but they actually said that they wanted to create more content and hence the birth of GBN. So congratulations, ladies, and thank you.
You can do your selfie, Carlos, and then, well, we're gonna do with it, yes, you do that, and then we're gonna take one of you in the center of the room. So, lean in, Gord. And then when you just go right here to you, and Miriam's gonna take a picture too, of you and your students.
How about you in the middle?
I think it'll look like this.
Trying to hide his jeans. Working out right there. 1, 2, 3, one more. Okay, thank you, Miriam.
Thank you very much. We really enjoyed the video. Very good branding for Giano. Okay, next is the superintendent's report by Dr. Mitchell.
Perfect, thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I wanted to share just a few pieces of information. One is around our enrollment for the 1920 school year. So our enrollment for the 2019-2020 school year is open now through March 4th. Is our priority enrollment. All new transitional kindergarten and kindergarten students, as well as any new student to the district, can enroll online at our district website. Wanted to also share about the event coming up, Principal for a Day. So business and community leaders are invited to the annual Principal for a Day event set for February 27th. Schools in Bassett, Hacienda La Puente, Rowland Unified, and with the La Puente Valley ROP will open their doors to invite community leaders to be guest principals and walk our campuses and be a part of our schools. And then we will have a luncheon, and it culminates with providing scholarships to students in all of our districts. Today was a fantastic day. We celebrated not only Valentine's Day, but appreciating our classified employees. So today there were approximately 45 principals, directors, assistant principals. Shay Lohman, our teachers union president, participated. All 5 of our board members participated, went out and shadowed our hardworking classified employees to lend a hand and to learn about what they do to make Rowland Unified an awesome school district. And the torrential downpour really gave us a real picture as we were filling sandbags and assisting with roofs and with flooding and clearing drains and all sorts of exciting things. So it was a really fantastic day, and the opportunity to work alongside our classified employees, shadowing them and doing their work with them. I had the pleasure of shadowing a bus driver and a bus aide that was responsible for transporting some of our littlest learners, including our preschoolers. So we putting them in car seats and transporting them to school. So it was a fantastic, very early start to the day. And I wanted to thank Sharon Carrillo and CSEA, who's our CSEA president, as well as her team, and Brandy Chapman and folks, and Gina Ward and folks in my office for putting this event together for the 3rd year. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to congratulate Justin Lopez for having just been selected as our newest assistant principal at the high school level. Justin will be joining the team at Nogales High School. He is replacing Mariela Moscal, who left Nogales to serve at Ybarra Academy earlier this school year. So Justin, we'd like for you to say a few words. Welcome you to this new role in the district. You can come up, that's fine. Welcome you to the new role.
I want to thank the board, superintendent, Dr. Mitchell, and cabinet for this wonderful opportunity. I came to Nogales High School 3 years ago as a counselor, and it has been an honor to serve our community. As assistant principal at Nogales High School, it's my commitment to provide our students with a first-class educational experience, to conduct myself with professionalism, and to evolve my practices and address the needs of all students. On behalf of my family, this is my wife Jen, Sienna, who's turning, I was going to say you're turning 15, she's turning 10 on the 15th.
Don't rush it, Justin, it comes fast enough.
Mason, Emma, and Gia, who you've been hearing so far. We want to thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to continuing to serve Nogales High School and the staff, families, and students that make it the best high school in America. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, and we look forward to working with you in the new capacity. And it was a pleasure to meet your family.
What a wonderful family. On behalf of the board, we want to say congratulations also. We're happy about this. Okay. Next, we will move on to the student board representatives report. We will start with a report from Johanna Lopez, ASB sophomore, president from Nogales High School.
Thank you, Madam President and members of the board. My name is Johanna Lopez, and I am the sophomore class president. On January 25th, our school had the annual Renaissance Rally. The rally consisted of recognizing our students for their hard work and commitment to our school. We even had a great performance by our school dance team, TNDC. The 31st of January, all our ASB class began making posters for our Clash of Classes and our annual Winter Blood Drive that will take place on February 21st. The first week of January through February 12th, our junior cabinet began their sale of Valentine's Day grams. Today, we distributed over 400 grams. Also, our ASB cabinets began their Spirit Gear sale that will be distributed at Clash of Classes to promote our school spirit. This week, our students began to make posters for Kindness Week that will take place next week. Kindness Week will be composed of positive message posters and fun activities that promote positive attitude and kindness to adults and peers. Furthermore, our sophomore cabinet began collecting sign-ups for blood donations all this week. Yesterday, our varsity soccer team advanced to the semifinals in CIF against the Royal High School. We had a great wrestling and basketball season with all our boys and girl athletes making it at least to the first round of CIF. This is all from the best high school in America. Thank you for your time. Have a noble day.
Thank you, Johanna. Excellent job. The board appreciates everything you told us. Next, we will receive a report from Emily Birch, ASB Speaker of the House from Rowland High School.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, and members of the audience. My name is Emily Birch, and I'm the Speaker of the House for Rowland High School. Since our last meeting, Rowland has been quite busy, as always. Our wrestling team was very successful. 9 of our athletes qualified to move to the next event in their journey to the California State Tournament. For our girls, Cheyenne Bowman became CIF champ for the second time as a sophomore, and Nelly Vasquez placed second. For our boys, all 7 are moving to participate in the Masters meet this weekend. The team took 3rd place overall and had 4 CIF champs. Our academic decathlon took 1st place, and one Rowland student received a $250 scholarship for being the top decathlete in Division II. The team earned 32 individual medals in total. Rowland's Future Business Leaders of America, also known as FBLA, competed and finished 5th overall in the Southern Section regional competition, with 18 students advancing to the state competition in Sacramento in April. During the week of January 28th through February 1st, we hosted our annual dodgeball tournament. We had 15 teams with each other in the gym alongside with the audience watching. On the last day, the tournament champions faced our teachers in the legendary match. Over 25 teachers participated, and the students were able to finally get back at the teachers for all the unreasonable amount of homework they assigned. The gym was packed with both students and staff. On January 25th, seniors had their January senior event called Jam in January, where seniors could receive a free McChicken and lemonade on our new stage. The event was very popular amongst the senior class. January 30th, we held our second annual Ready, Set, Rowland, where members of the community could come and check out all of Rowland's academic programs, athletic programs, as well as all our extracurricular activities. This past Monday, all seniors had a mandatory assembly to discuss information about grad night, graduation, and other senior activities. Furthermore, Dee Hankins, an inspirational speaker, came and motivated the seniors to finish off the school year with a bang. We also started to distribute ASB applications for class officers, executive board, and members at large. These applications will be due February 19th at our mandatory meeting to discuss election week. On February 7th, our students Ethan Galang and Ruby Fernandez had their signing day to commit to play college-level basketball and soccer. Their family and friends, along with their teammates, filled the hideout for a very special ceremony. This week, we had our annual Random Acts of Kindness Week. During this week, students received little gifts to show motivation and kindness. Monday, everyone got a motivational post-it on their locker in the morning to start their week off right. Tuesday, we had a kissing booth on our stage where students can go up and receive a Hershey's kiss. Today, for Valentine's Day, everyone received a paper heart specifically made out for them so they could feel a little love. Friday, students will have the opportunity to take pictures with their loved ones as well as play a game like the Newlywed Game. February is also our Raider Goals Month. Each week is dedicated to one of our goals, thinkers, communicators, and contributors. This week, we had posters with quotes on it on what it's about to be a thinker. We are also having a thinker quiz through the morning announcements on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Third period classes will collect their answers to the questions and turn them in to Mr. Whitley by the end of nutrition. Even I was running in the rain trying to find him. Third periods that have all the right answers get the potential to win donuts. On February 22nd, we will be having our Renaissance Assembly. This year, the theme is Harry Potter. The assembly promotes academic excellence by recognizing students for outstanding achievements. Attendees will be able to watch an entertaining assembly with student actors and receiving a free t-shirt. Right after the assembly, we have our Sadie's theme. Our Sadie's theme will be revealed at lunch. The Sadie's dance will be March 15th from 8 to 11 in the gym. On February 26th, our Sadie's fashion show will happen during lunch to display all the unique outfits that you can wear to the dance. Soon, we will release signups for Powder Buff, a competition between our senior and junior boys where they can play volleyball and the girls' volleyball team can be the coaches for the boys. I'm especially excited to be able to coach the boys for the game March 8th. Also, in the beginning of March, Rowland has some visitors, WASC visiting committee members. Our staff and students have been working really hard putting together the report. WASC will be on campus to review our progress on Sunday, March 3rd through Wednesday, March 6th. We invite all of you to join us on this adventure. March 21st, we will be celebrating the opening of our magnificent new library and administration office. Let me tell you, the student body is taking full advantage of this spacious and inviting library by using it for Socratic seminars, our Mount Stack Connect 4 meetings, and getting out of the rain to just hang out. Following that will be our spring parent-teacher conferences. Campaigning for ASB positions will start March 5th through the 8th. It seems very early as my time giving these speeches is coming to an end, but as soon as we know it, those seniors will be walking across the stage. Therefore, Rowland High School is still chugging along event after event, and all the students, teachers, and faculty are all modeling the true greater goals of being a thinker, communicator, and contributor. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. We really appreciate all that information. A lot of wonderful things are happening at Rowland High School. Thank you. Dr. Mitchell, are there any comments this evening? Written comments. Please note, the public is welcome to provide comment to the board remarks, which are limited to 3 minutes unless extended or limited by vote of the board. A maximum of 20 minutes unless extended by the board is allocated for each subject discussed. The Brown Act open meeting regulations under which the board must operate do not allow board members to comment on agenda items or information you may bring up that are not in the agenda. Additionally, no action can be taken. However, the board may give direction to staff following a comment. Roy Humphreys.
Okay, good evening and happy Valentine's Day. Harry Peterson sends his love and is available for consultation. Thanks to William Harrison back here for setting the record straight as to the lack of professionalism, both board and administration. A correction is due in that he stated that I am right on 80% of the time. Well, the fact is it's more like 90%. Thank you, though, for mentioning that. And as noted by a woman at the RHCC meeting on Monday, sacrificing public safety for the relative few mental and dysfunctional cases is not acceptable, period. Yes, you compromise public safety and the safety of the students and so forth, which is, in fact, a core value. Yes, Governor Newsom is reducing the restorative justice program funding, and EdSource notes that it is a failure at a terrible cost. At the same meeting, board member Eben Camp noticed that the YouTube videos that the district public meetings are not advertised on the district website as the RACC meeting was, because I say the same thing. Really? I noted that the two students of Nogales High School, which did, he's now gone, the principal, Yusef, did them proud, or they did them proud, Mr. William Harrison, the Oswald clan. The teachers noting that district campuses are not safe and that the north side is known as gangland. But that would be transparency. For the record, I have little use for any individuals or group of individuals that feel that transparency is a buzzword. Your failure to openly address the sexual predator issues of the district brought great and varied responses on the Rowland Buzz today. Head in the sand is not an option. We must not forget that for over 2 years I've been telling you, you take over the video recording and post them on your website, I'm out of here. You'll never see me again, and that offer still stands. And yes, the only way we can move forward is if we're honest about our past. Nothing is hidden except to be revealed, nor is anything secret, but would come to light. That's Mark 4:22. Thank you.
William G. Harrison.
Thank you. Rowland High School, good, bad, and ugly. Rowland offers an immense number of programs to teachers, students, etc. They spare no cost in terms of educating our kids. I visit a lot of schools and I see all these different programs. Like I said, from A to Z. Name it is there. Any equipment that a teacher needs to have their kids go forward or the school go forward, it's made available to them. So there's no reason for our schools to not be successful. However, in the areas of math, English, the state testing, we're not cutting the mustard there. But I'm very proud of the district in terms of what they supply to our teachers. If I was a first-year teacher, as I said last time, I would love to work in Rowland Unified in regards to the materials that are offered. When I taught, It wasn't entirely different. The bad, we lose too many teachers. We lose about 4 to 5 teachers every year. Where are these teachers going? Are they going to other school districts rather? If they are, we need to find a way to keep them there because we're losing young, bright teachers for the most part. Another ugly aspect is our test scores. I know we can do a lot better because I visit classes, I see the kids on task, I see the teachers working very diligently, but for some reason our scores are not going up. In terms of administrators, we have outstanding administrators. We have excellent counselors, principals, clerical. We have perhaps the best clerical staff in the state of California. I don't care what you do, they're very charming, very accommodating, very, very professional. The schools that I work with, like Nogales, very transparent. If anything you want to know, you get. Oswald, not as transparent, but maybe they're coming around. The ugly is we have a lot of gang problems on our campuses. We have a lot of kids who are not being obedient to teachers, causing classroom disruptions, preventing the educational process to go forward. That along with the college kids. We're not sending a lot of kids to the 4-year colleges, be it private college, UC, or state colleges. Another problem is we set our goals too low. We want 2 to 5% growth. It's just not, you're not stimulating anyone at 2 to 5%. We need to set our goals a lot higher and push our kids a lot harder in order to reach these goals. In regards to the request that was made by the board last meeting, Mrs. Kim did contact me over a lot of issues within the school system, the district rather. A lot of questions were answered. In regards to the Oswald project, I'm still waiting for Alex to give us a call. We're still in the dark. We don't know what's going on at Oswald. We're walking around with a white stick with a red tip on it, okay? But overall, the district is doing a great job in terms of answering the questions I put forth, and I look forward, I'm hoping that the district does move forward with this test. Thank you very, very much.
Shay Lohman.
Front row seat tonight. Well, first off, happy Valentine's Day. I'd like to take the opportunity tonight on Valentine's Day, also the Appreciating Classified Employees Day today, to express love, to remind everybody in this room, our students, our community, our staff, that there are so many dedicated individuals in this organization that have a deep love for a singular goal of educating the students that live in our neighborhoods. In my 5th year as president of the union that represents educators, I have been blessed with so many opportunities to learn and be inspired by so many great people who show up to work every single day to serve our community and do the best job they can to educate our students. This is a 24-hour organization with the purpose of creating the most optimal learning environments. From our food service employees that show up literally in the middle of the night, rain or shine, as we learned today, to prepare thousands of meals that our children rely on, to the mechanics and bus drivers that ensure that our students are transported to school in a safe and caring manner, to our office staff and administrative services department who keep us all spot on, to the hundreds of educators, classified, certificated, both in the classroom and in support and specialized roles that teach our students the skills that will be necessary for our students to live whatever life it is that they choose for themselves. To our custodians and maintenance crew that keep our campuses clean and in recent days dry both inside and out. To our security and patrol staff that protect us from this sometimes crazy world. And of course, our administrators, our cabinet, our superintendent, our school board that manage this little city is really what it is. As a labor management team, we have grown leaps and bounds from 5 short years ago. We may not always agree. Heck, we might flat out disagree sometimes. Sometimes we have to tackle complicated issues together. And sometimes we might be frustrated at the pace of change. But what I have learned is that I've never questioned your commitment to public education, to the students that we serve. Your love and passion for the work that you do is evident for all those that are around. This community is lucky to have the support of the staff, educators, and management of this school district. So that's my Valentine's Day card. Thank you, everybody, and have a happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. We will move on to the discussion action items on the agenda. The first item is 6A. Can I have a motion and education low performing students block grant plan for the 19 to 2021 school years?
I move.
Second. Are there any questions or discussion?
I have one. Under 6A, item number 2, where we talk about professional development activities for certificated staff that increase the quality of the test and first instruction, specifically areas of mathematics and formative summative. I understand there's 194 identified students that would be receiving the benefits of this funding. And I would like to focus this a little bit more, saying professional development activities for certificated staff who provide services to those identified students, rather than just generically. I realize that each year these students can be represented in different classrooms, but since this is the plan for this current grant, I would like to see that funding going towards those professional development that are serving those 194 students.
So absolutely, yes, and to change that wording I don't think is a problem, but to clarify, it will also, our intent would be to include those teachers of the 194, but also others. So it would not be limited to only those 194 teachers. I mean students, the teachers
Right.
of those 194 students.
But this is the justification for the grant for this year, correct?
It's through 2021.
Oh, this is for through 2000. Okay.
Right. It's through 2021. So those teachers that they have this year are different than who they have next
Right,
year, which is
exactly.
different than who they have. That's why it was written in a generic fashion, and I wasn't clear when I had made that response, because you had previously asked me that question. So that's why I wanted to clarify that it's not, it is a broader net because of the year span as well.
It's just that I know at each of our board meetings, we're approving conferences, training on a regular basis, or consultants coming in. This is in addition to that regular training that we do as a school district. So I would hope that this money would be targeted towards those students and the teachers that provide services to them. That's all.
Yes, it will be targeted that way, and it will definitely include them, but it may also include others. And even when it's student services, looking at tutoring services and so forth, it will include the 194 students, but it may also include others.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware that I went through 221.
Sorry, I wasn't clear about that.
Okay, those in favor? Oh, no, another question, I'm so sorry.
For the 194 students identified could benefit from this grant, but the grants across two academic years. So among the 194, what happened if they graduate from or leave, or how then change it? How does it work?
So the funding was based on the enrollment in this school year, and that's how the 194 students were identified. And that the funding was based on 194 students. So even if a student were to graduate, the funding has already been provided to the district.
So any 194 can be different students.
Well, there may be fewer students. Let's say if there's some of those 194 are seniors in the district, they may graduate from high school. The funding has already been established and has already been provided to the district. And so we are eligible to start encumbering and spending that money beginning March 1st of 2019 through 2021.
Any other questions? Okay, those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is 6B. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the memorandum of understanding regarding new employee orientation between the Rowland Unified School District and California School Employees Association, Chapter 133?
I make a motion.
Second.
Are there any questions? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is 6C. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the contract agreement between the Rowland Unified School District and the Los Angeles County of Education for professional development?
I make a motion.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is 6D. Can I have a motion and a second to approve Anatomage Incorporated as a sole source provider for the procurement of Anatomage visual dissection tables?
I move.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion? Those in favor?
I'd just like to make a comment that I've actually seen this table in person, and my son utilized this when he was going to school. And if, once we obtain these tables, it's going to put us leaps and bounds above others in the area to have this available. They actually use this table many times in medical schools rather than using cadavers. And it's an unbelievable technology that these tables have. So I'm really happy to see these coming to Rowland.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing that. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is 6E. Can I have a motion and a second to vote for no more than 2 candidates to the California School Boards Association Delegate Assembly, Suburban 23B, who will serve a 2-year term beginning April 1st, 2019 through March 31st, 2021? Are there any suggestions of candidates?
I have to. I did as much research as I could on the internet on these two. And Rosemead, Nancy Armenta, what I really like about her is that she's an MSW. She's very strong in the mental health and the utilization of counselors in the educational process. And the other one is Adam Carlos Carranza from Mountain View. She's into literacy, and she took it on her own to start these little free libraries in the community, and has actually set up 20 of them in the community. So she's going beyond just the school district to increase literacy. So I personally like Armenta and Carranza.
Angelina?
I would like to throw Larry Redinger out there into the mix. Larry Redinger is retired from Mount Sac, and he's still working diligently with the programs there to enhance science for students, interest in science for students. He's also very involved in advocacy for K-12 school districts, also with the Los Angeles County School Trustee Association, and with helping to make sure that professional development at those meetings is provided for school board members who attend representing their districts.
Because Larry, most of them know Larry because he was in the community for many years, and it's a neighboring district. So I think Larry would be a good candidate. And among Nancy and Adam, I think I was for Nancy because of her background. So I think I was for Larry and then Nancy for this job.
Lynn, do you have any comment? No. All right, we have a motion for 1 candidate. We'll vote for 2, but let's do 1 at a time. Would someone like to make a motion for somebody? I want to make a motion.
I'll make a motion for the first candidate to be Nancy Armenta from Rosemead.
Can I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now I need another motion for the next candidate.
I made a motion for Larry Ledger.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is 6G. Can I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number So sorry. Let me go back. The next item is 6F. Can I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number AS 181908 proclaiming March 4th to the 8th, 2019 as National School Breakfast Week and the month of March as National Nutrition Month?
I make a motion.
Any questions or discussion? Of course. Are there any questions or discussion?
I have there's a comment I'd like to make. Based on what Mr. Lohman was saying earlier about, basically it takes a team to provide an educational, comprehensive educational program for our students. One of the things that a lot of us don't really appreciate is nutritional services and the role that plays in the educational process. So I looked on the internet and looked at a couple of studies that were on the internet, and two kind of stood out, and I just want to just real briefly summarize those. One was in Philadelphia, where 75% of the teachers who responded to a free breakfast program, informational survey, there was a 63% response. And what they found out that over half of the teachers, or 95 of them, said that they had seen students' independence, cooperation, responsibility, socialization, curiosity increase as a result of participating in the Universal School Breakfast Program. And then another study in Philadelphia looked at, from an administrative point of view, as far as paperwork and workload. And what they found out that if the school had 70% students that were eligible for free and reduced, that if you did 100% there, that they estimated there'd be 13,000 hours of administration time was saved, and the cost was $96,000. In addition, concentrating on those schools with 70% or greater rate, the positive bottom line would increase to $644,000. So both administratively and educationally, a good nutritional program and universal free breakfast program benefits the students and benefits the bottom line for the school district.
I'm a little more selfish, and I'd like to see what's happening in Rowland Unified as far as, how students are benefiting maybe a year from now. Dr. Mitchell, you could get some numbers for us? I can. Because what happens in Philly isn't necessarily true what's in Rowland.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is 6G. Can I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number SO 181910 proclaiming March 2019 as National Music in Our Schools Month?
I move.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For March, and we have 3 music festivals on that month.
Correct.
Right. And 3, but only 2. The third one is in April.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So even in April, can we make that? Yeah, it's a part of.
So we have music festivals that go all year long within our district, and so we're recognizing the month of March is National Music in Our Schools Month. It's a national recognition piece. And so I'm not sure what your request is regarding the one in April.
He was thinking, I think March and April.
The 2 festivals in March, we can make them part of the National Music Month as a celebration.
To make an announcement at those concerts? Certainly. To add that at those concerts in March? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we can do that, sure. Sure, to acknowledge it at that event. Yes, no problem.
Just also another add-on that I'm thinking about, that in looking at studies that benefit students, they have shown also, I don't have them with me right now, but that music programs benefit students in math, and that they achieve higher grades in math based on music involvement. I don't know about Rowland, though, but studies have shown that in the past.
Okay, those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. The next item is 6H. Can I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number SO 181911 proclaiming March 2nd, 2019 as Read Across America Day?
I make a motion.
I second. Are there any questions or discussion? No? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. The next item is 6I. There is no motion on this item. This is just to receive for first reading and discussion of Board Bylaws 9005.1, Board Superintendent Protocols. Now it's time for discussion.
Could that be put up on the screen?
Yes, Dennis, can you put the attachment up there? So if I can just provide a little bit of background and to reiterate, this is a first reading, and so we welcome the conversation from the board. This is here because we had brought it at the last meeting regarding comments and then made no change to that, but recognized how dated this was from our current practices. And so we attempted to make some changes to reflect what our current practices are, but there are other bylaws that we have that also need some adjustments. So some of these, and we have gone through the book of our bylaws, there are others that need to be updated as well. So we can start with this one and we continue to work through, or we can bring them all back at a time, or whatever the board's pleasure is.
What about going for each one? If there's you want to do that? Does that sound okay? Like one is fine?
Well,
Agenda development.
I have a question. It's more about formatting. Since B and C talk about comments, shouldn't those two be lowered and put them under board comments, or are they not talking about board comments? C 1B says board members will keep comments to a reasonable length. And then C also talks about comments, right?
Under number 1?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this
B.
Should those be moved down?
B?
Under
That's
two?
this one.
Oh.
Because they address comments.
What does everybody think?
I think that's a good point.
There's some,
Makes sense.
Okay, so
I got it.
So B and C, BE and CD will be moved to comment section?
That one's struck out, so it's B and C, those are struck out.
Oh, B and C, okay. And I was going to mention on C for board member comments, cross off related to school visits and community activities, because we also say other things besides that, in our comments. So all of that can be submitted in writing for insertion into the minutes to Brandy. What do you think? So we're going to cross off. And then I wanted to go back to 1A.
Can I get one clarification?
Yes.
So just, so the request on C is it would read, correct me, board member comments will be submitted in writing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that's all I need, thank you.
Opening paragraph first. Can we go to the opening paragraph?
First one?
Yeah.
Agenda, the paragraph?
Yeah.
All right, okay, paragraph.
The preamble, we won't call it the first paragraph. I like the idea of the teamwork approach, but I feel that whenever you have a team working on anything, one person has to be ultimately responsible. And I'd like to have in this document someplace the responsibility of the board president in making the final decision when there's a disagreement or a dispute, and then how that board president would solicit input from the board members. And I don't see that in this document at all.
So in terms of looking at this, if we were to do that, that would, we need to find a place where we put it, because the board president as a single individual cannot make a decision for the full board. It has to come to the board.
Right.
So the board president would put an item on the agenda, either open or closed session, depending on where it is appropriate, and that's where the discussion would be made with the board.
Well, even under 1A, where it says the superintendent will receive and review with the board agenda items, but then say the superintendent says, no, I don't want that on the agenda, and the board president says, yes, I do think it should be on the agenda.
It goes to the board president.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you have to go to the board president.
Yeah, and that is the case.
But that's not stated in here.
Like in A, can we switch it over, back how it was? The president will receive and review with the superintendent, the original way it was.
Yes, the way that it is, the amended is simply what our current practice is. It can go, this is, it's fine, but the board president typically does not receive the board, yeah, I wouldn't, you guys can have it. But you typically don't receive those. It comes through our office.
From the board members. This is only for board member requests, not.
They still typically come, our
On
current
number
practice, I understand, the
okay.
current practice, which can be changed, so our current practice wasn't following this. Our current practice is if any member of the board wanted something on a board agenda, they typically would reach out to me, and then I meet with the board president regularly, and I'd say, a board member has asked this item be placed on the agenda, and then together we look to see, is this within the purview of the board? Is this a policy decision is in the purview of the board? And if it is, we put it on the agenda. And if it's not, we explain to that board member that it's not, help and further understand what was the interest. So, but I respect yours in terms
what
of.
What happens if there's a disagreement?
Well, then I think you put superintendent evaluation in closed session.
So I think that if there's a disagreement, then the board president has the final say.
That's kind of a lot of weeds to get into, because there are some things that maybe I say, maybe I'm president and I say, I want that on the agenda. Well, maybe it's not an appropriate item for the agenda, and Dr. Mitchell knows that better than I do. You know, there's certain things that go on the agenda and certain things that don't.
I'm thinking in the past, not Dr. Mitchell, but other superintendents we've had, that if it was worded this way, what the situation would have been, and that's what concerns me.
Respectfully, it was worded the new way. Is that what you mean? Worded the way that it's proposed
Right.
to go? Yeah.
Yeah. It concerned me based on previous superintendents that we've had.
Yeah, I think though you also run walking a very thin line of violating the Brown Act if you change that back to the way
No,
the
I'm
first
not
one.
asking for that. I'm just saying if there's a disagreement,
Oh,
then the board president should have final say.
then I think that's something that maybe is communicated with the individual who submitted the request. And maybe the individual who submitted the request, the board president and the superintendent can talk about it together, because maybe something is getting lost in translation. So maybe if you ask to have something placed on the agenda and the board president says yes and the superintendent says, I don't think it's a good idea, then maybe that's when they say, let's bring the person who made the request in, and the three of you can have a discussion about it, because sometimes things do get lost in translation. Maybe what the board president, the reason the board president thought you wanted on there wasn't clarified correctly to the superintendent, and maybe it's something that can be worded in a different way or addressed in a different way.
I'm just looking at the hierarchy and how the organizational structure works.
Right.
And the board is supposed to be the top.
That's true, but keep in mind also that the only one on this board that have been an administrator in education is myself, and then Ms. Friedman has been a teacher, a long-term teacher. So there may be ed code that comes into play. There may be legal liabilities that come into play. So there's the superintendent's job is to protect us as well and make sure that we're staying in compliance with how things that are placed on the agenda too. But that's why I said I think that's where communication comes in, where the board president and the person who submitted the request, being any of us, would need to sit down and have a conversation about it. And then if we still have an issue with it and the superintendent reviews it, then again, that's where the board superintendent evaluation comes in if she doesn't follow your recommendation.
I think if we would do a process flow chart on this, look at it visually, then we would see that we're getting out of sync with where the board sits and where the superintendent sits.
But it's not technically, because like I said, yes, the board is here and the superintendent is here. But also, if I asked you a question about ed code right now on student discipline, you wouldn't be able to say, oh, that's ed code such and such and such, where she could. So sometimes there's a protection issue for her. One of her jobs is to make sure she protects the board from us getting ourselves in trouble. That's all I'm saying, is that a discussion should happen. Communication is always going to be the deciding factor. So if you communicated something with her directly, you know, if the board president contacted you and said the superintendent didn't want to put it on there, and then you go in and you're her boss, you go in and you say, hey, explain to me why you didn't want to put this on the agenda. You have that right.
Right, and then if there's a disagreement on that, not based on ed code, but just a disagreement ethically or.
If there's no valid legal reason why it shouldn't be, and there's no harm that would come to anybody in the district for it not being placed on the agenda, then those are the things you're looking at. Then by all means, you and the board president can say, well, you know, we want it on the agenda.
But David's saying, what if the superintendent says no? The superintendent has to say.
Then again, that's where her evaluation comes in. She disobeyed.
I think we should think about
But you can't-
when there's an impasse between the president and the superintendent, then whether an item be added to the agenda, be brought up to the whole board and let us decide. And then superintendent can speak her part, we can speak our part, but we have the vote on it.
Yeah, I would hope that would occur, that the board president would solicit input from the board as
I don't
well.
know how you say that for the bylaws, but that makes sense to me.
Well, why not keep B? I'm not sure why we didn't keep B. May, if we could put it, instead of will, may be placed on at the end of the agenda.
Because if it's a discussion action item, it goes in the discussion action section. If it's, and that isn't at the end of the.
So then board member initiated items may be placed in the discussion.
Well, they'll be placed on the agenda where they most best fit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're a staff report. Sometimes it's a discussion action item. Sometimes it's a consent item.
But I don't know why it was crossed off, that's all.
It's crossed off because the recommendation is to strike it from the bylaw because it's no longer, it's not applicable. Because the board member initiated item would not be placed on the agenda. It could, at the end. The issue with the old B is the word end. Because board member initiated items do not go at the end of the agenda. Historically, they go where they fit within the order of the
So
agenda.
board member initiated items may be placed where they need to, you know, depending on the
Be there. I mean, if it's a board member item that's been agreed to put on the agenda, it'll be on the agenda.
Exactly.
I think that whole line just didn't make sense.
Okay.
This includes closed session agenda items too.
Correct.
Since this is just a reading with a discussion, maybe we can work on that piece about how we want to word what we've been talking about as far as the impasse between the president and the superintendent.
Well, yeah,
Because
that's fine.
if it includes closed session also, which it does, then.
Yeah, and it would have to be a closed session discussion.
No, but agendizing items in closed session that might involve the hiring or firing or reduction or whatever. You want, I think, the board president to make those decisions. You know, to be, whether it should be on the agenda to be discussed.
No, those things have to go on the agenda.
I know they have to, but I'm just saying.
That's,
Say
okay,
you
you're
want to terminate the
overstepping.
superintendent, and the superintendent says, no, I don't want that on the agenda, in closed session. I'm just going back hypothetical.
They can't do that. That's where legal counsel becomes
I'm just saying
involved.
hypothetical.
No, legal counsel becomes involved in that. That becomes a legal issue with the board president and our attorney.
I'm just trying to look at what happened in the past.
Well, we were there.
Yeah, I know you were.
Yeah.
And David wants to try to prevent it from happening again.
Yeah, I understand you're
I
trying
lived through that also.
to make sure that everything is protected, but I think you have to.
Was this great, which I think speaks highly of the school district, that people would come out in that rain to see the showcase. I mean, it was packed, and it just flowed like this. There was nothing, uneventful as far as rain or anything. So it was really good, and I heard a lot of good comments from people about it, and the performances were great. So I agree with what you're saying. And like you said, Gina, she just pulls things out. When things look like they're not going to work, she has a knack to make them work one way or the other. It's not, what can I not do, but what can I do, which is a nice attitude. The ACE program, the appreciating classified employees today. Boy, what an eye-opener that was. I was drenched. But, things come up on our agendas. Simple things like cycling off used equipment or equipment that shouldn't be used anymore. And we question that, why is that being cycled off? But when you get to see that firsthand, why vehicles are being transferred off, cycled off, it makes you appreciate that a little bit more after riding today. You think they would have given me the best truck out there?
They're very smart.
I tell you, this is an experience driving today. But anyways, it really was an experience seeing the actual, because the rebarb's coming out from the bottom of the pool, and it doesn't look that nice. I went to the two high school events, the Go Rowland and Nogales 101. Great events. Totally different the way the two high schools handled them. Nogales handled it in such a way to inform people about activities that students can get involved in and what's available at Nogales. And Rowland was focused more on educational aspects of it, what's available, help that they can get, the college, the classes they're required to get in order to go to college or to take a career path, what's available. It was just totally different approaches, but both were excellent for upcoming high school students. I want to mention February 22nd, 2 to 5. We're going to be doing Heart and Soul again at Family Resource Center. We've been doing this since 2010. And since 2010, we've given out about 1,400 pairs of shoes to Rowland Elementary School students and a few intermediate and high school students. And we'll be giving out approximately 100 and 125 more pairs of shoes on the 22nd of February, which is next Friday, a week from Friday, and 2 to 5 o'clock. We'll be setting up around 1 o'clock, and then families will be coming in mostly around 2:30 when school gets out. They usually pick the kids up and bring them over. And if anybody wants to come and participate or watch or help kids try shoes on, we can use you. And Sue Chi, again, did the Villa Quarter food distribution. The turnout was more than ever. We ran out of a lot of food. And they had food for about 250. And we still didn't have enough. That is just growing exponentially, that program, and it is just something. At the food distribution, one of the Suu Kyi leaders came and approached me, and they want to give us scholarships at Rowland High, or Rowland Unified. So Dr. Mitchell has put that into place already. Hopefully we'll get some students that will be eligible. So they really are partnering with Rowland Unified and trying to be a good partner with us. They want to give out a couple of scholarships, $1,000 each. So that would be nice. And I want to congratulate Justin for his appointment, Justin Lopez. And the two reps that were here from Galleos High School and Rowland High to come here on Valentine's night for young adults. That shows how dedicated they are. And finally, I just want to wish everybody a lovely Valentine's Day. And thank you for coming out tonight and spending your evening with us instead.
Carrie?
Happy Valentine's Day, and that's the day remind us we need love and happiness, so everybody in our mind. And today is the appreciation classified employee day, and I was there and early helping distribute the breakfast and the snack to the kids. And I found guava was the on the menu, and that was not very popular in the regular market. But that's a very nutritious dish of the food of vitamin C, and I'm very happy to see that in the kids grab it and eat it. And it's very popular in Southeast Asia, in Mexico and Hawaii, and in tropical countries. That's very good, very healthy food for the kids. And that reminds me that the food also reflects on the diversity of our community. So and also that the kids eat healthy. So the comment today I sent to Donna was we take around 5 minutes to eat the food, but it takes 5 hours to prepare. And yeah, and the food, the 4 of us working very hard for 2 hours, and the food brought to the campus from the center also. So it takes a long time, a lot of people to prepare the food, but the kids don't eat them 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and they're finished. But that will give the kids lifelong healthy, because the food is healthy. So that's very important. Nutrition is very important to the kids, and I learned a lot today. Yeah, that's very good. And another thing is, last week was the celebrating Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year, and I went to one of our school in Northam celebrating Lunar New Year, and that was amazing. And the programs they brought a Shaolin Kung Fu demonstration, and that was amazing. I hope more parents and more audience can be there to watch. And I went to one sheriff station for dedicating a honor wall, and also honor one of the sheriff deputy was shot about more than 10 years ago, and passed away because of the wound, because the bullet stayed in the body, on the head somewhere, and he passed away a month ago, and that made me thinking, the peace is not free. They protect us from being robbed or crime, and they sacrifice their life. So now the sheriff, they want a station protecting our campus, our kids too. So, but they are risking their life. So we honor them because they're risking their life every day on their duty. So that's something we need to honor them and respect them. And showcase was very successful. There was rain day, but there was a lot of people. And again, thank you, Dr. Mitchell and Brandy and Gina and everyone contribute to the event. And I brought a few friends over, and one of the family was debating whether or not they want to transfer their kids from private school back to public school. So after the visiting the showcase, they made a decision. They decided to transfer their high school kids from a private high school to Rowland High School. So at the time, I told Dr. Mitchell, our AD, added one number. Yeah. Congratulate Justin Lopez, and I think that's very good choice for promoting with him, and they will keep our morale high. Yeah, we work hard and they get promoted. It's good. Thank you.
I'm not going to repeat what everybody else has said, but I will say ditto on the showcase. It was fabulous. And thanks, Dr. Mitchell, for getting that started a couple years ago, 3 years ago. It's been one of the best things for our district. Justin Lopez's appointment, I think, is a wonderful appointment for our district. He's got the right attitude. He's a good people person. And, you know, we have to remember that among all the hats all our administrators wear, they're the heads of customer service. And that includes students and parents. And I think he will do an outstanding job in that position. So I just wanted to congratulate him. Today I was at the ACE event. I shadowed Jose Franco in the technology department. He's the senior tech. And I tell you, that's an eye-opener, all that technology, what they have to do. You think about it, there's not one area of this whole district or one employee that they don't touch. We installed Dennis Bixler's conference phone today. We plodded through the water, and we just solved problems centrally because as a senior tech, he's in charge of kind of shooting down problems in the department. But he has the right attitude. I asked him what he liked the most about his position, and he said it's the people I work with. And the thing that he said that that we could work on, or that he could work on, is time. Sometimes there's just not enough time to get everything done, and I think everybody who works realizes that from time to time. There aren't enough hours in the day. But kudos to Jose and his department, and to all of the classified workers of our district, because they do make us work. And I think having this one day a year that we can find out the work they do has been beneficial to me, and I'm sure it's been beneficial to everybody. So thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for staying for our meeting on Valentine's Day when you should be with your significant other. Also, I wanted to mention Giano's video presentation, and their speeches were great. And I want to ditto what Lynn said about Justin, because I've seen him work with the kids and everything that he's done, and I'm sure that he's going to do a great job in his new position. David mentioned Nogales 101. I really enjoyed the 8th grade introduction to the families. There was over 100 people present, and they gave a great meeting about the different organizations that the kids could join, as well as they had booths where the students ran to see what club they can join. I thought it was very great. As I was leaving, I spoke to a parent, and he asked, "Oh, do you have a child coming here?" I said, "No, actually, I'm board president." "Oh, you came and you didn't even have to come?" And so he said he was very excited about his child coming to Nogales High School. He's very involved in everything. And then I wanted to mention the shadow experience. Today I was with the custodian at Alvarado, Eleno. He's an outstanding person. He is amazing. I thought, what am I getting myself into, especially with this rain? I was thinking, are we ever going to have a break? And he's just so good. But I was only with him for half a day, and there's so much work. Like, the time went so fast. We finally got a break at 10:50, and He just was amazing. I got over 7,000 steps just walking around Alvarado, and in a short time. Yeah, in the rain. Oh, my pants got so soaked. The raincoat, forget it. What happened to you too? It was a great experience. And then the luncheon afterwards, I just want to mention, you could tell all the people that were, Sharon and whoever else helped, everybody. The organization of everything was just wonderful. A lot of hard work, but it paid off because it makes us realize, well, you know, they're so important that we can't do our job without classified employees. And they're just so important, and it was a fun time by everybody. And so thank you very much again, everybody, for being here. And can I have a motion and a second to adjourn the regular board meeting of the Rowland Unified School District Board of Education?
I move.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned at 7:26 p.m.